Hi, my name's Eric. I work for rent-to-own-for-less.com. I've done a lot of rent-to-own transactions in the last year. I was talking today about, what will happen when you have to buy with a rent-to-own transaction, and especially how much money you've got to bring towards closing. Now, in a typical closing, if you're going with FHA financing as a 2010, you're going to have to bring 3.5% up front. That's just required by the government, and FHA is kind of the standard program right now. And then you're also going to have to bring any closing costs. Now, those can range from 2 to 4% of the purchase price. And I just wanted to talk to you today about, in a rent-to-own program, exactly how that works. Now, when you're getting close to the point where you're going to buy, you would be calling up your mortgage broker, and he would get together to handle all the paperwork. Now, to cover that 3.5%, your option consideration that you put down at the beginning of the agreement, that goes towards that 3.5%. So let's say you put down $2,500 and the house costs $1,000. Okay, you would have to pay that $1,000 difference between that $3,500 required up front and that $2,500 option fee. So, in other words, you would have to pay that 3.5% minus the option consideration you paid. Now, the other thing is closing costs. Now, usually, like I said, closing costs can vary. Usually 2 to 4% is a good rule of thumb. So that's $2,000 to $4,000. Well, any rent credits you have, typically, and that's how we structure it in a rent-to-own transaction, can go towards the closing costs. So, let's say your rent was $1,000 and you had 20% rent credits. Well, that's $200 times 12 months. That's $2,400 that will go towards the closing cost. So whatever your closing cost is, let's say it's $3,000. You deduct $2,400 from that, so it's only $600. So now you're looking at $1,000 to $1,500, roughly, when you go to buy, rather than looking, to six in the 6-7 range. So it's kind of set up so that when you rent-to-own is typically set up so when you put that option consideration down and when you're making your payments on time, you're mainly worried about your credit during that year. You're not worried about saving up a down payment. You're not worried about saving up for closing costs because you've already done that. So, again, my name's Eric. I work for rent-to-own-for-less.com. If you'd like 10 free additional videos about rent-to-own as well as moving towards home ownership, please go to our website at rent-to-own-for-less.com and we'll get those to you. Thanks.